Imagine a 15-year-old girl driving like 600 miles on a learner's permit.
Yeah,
But this isn't for some fun teenage trip, It's much, much darker.
absolutely. And that image, it's the perfect way into the world of Blake Crouch, especially his early stuff.
Right. That's where we're starting our deep dive today, into his really unsettling world.
We're unpacking this chilling novella, Bad Girl. It introduces this character, Lucy.
Mm,
Wow, she's unforgettable.
totally. But we're doing more than just one story. Our mission here is to sort of connect the dots, right? Across Crouch's whole universe of thrillers.
Exactly. Looking at the suspense, the psychology,
Hmm.
and the author's own kind of fascination with the nature of evil itself.
Yeah. So for you listening, we want to pull out the key insights, the really important stuff from Bad Girl, but also from an interview with Crouch and bits from his other novels too.
You'll get a real shortcut, basically, to understanding Crouch's style, his recurring characters, the dark themes that make his work so distinctive.
Our main source is the novella Bad Girl. But we've also got that interview, like you said, and excerpts from Desert Places, Locked Doors, Abandoned, and Snowbound.
It gives us a pretty wide view of his work.
Okay, so let's dive into Lucy. How does it all begin?
Well, we're in Indianapolis, 1995. There's this mystery writers convention.
Right. And Lucy, just 15, she's there trying to blend in, make up, trying to look older, invisible almost.
She's already been turned away from getting a hotel room because she's too young.
And yet she drove 600 miles on a learner's permit, stole her mom's car apparently, all for one reason.
To meet Andrew Z. Thomas, the writer. He's the guest of honor. It's this total obsession driving her.
Crouch sets up that feeling of alienation right away, doesn't he? She feels like an observer, not a participant.
Yeah, she says it's like watching a movie. Always felt that way. That distance is key to her character. It lets her watch everything with this creepy detachment.
And then she spots Mark Darling.
Young author, first book, a locked room mystery, a death in the family. He seems nervous, just pacing around the bar.
And the contrast is just stark, right? You've got Mark worrying about his book signing, and Lucy, she's just intensely scanning everything, counting floors, doors, like she's casing the joint.
It really shows her nature, doesn't it? Even that early on, she's not just looking, she's assessing, like a predator, sizing things up, seeing weaknesses, opportunities.
It's chilling. And she doesn't just observe for long. She moves on Mark pretty fast.
Yeah, the manipulation starts almost immediately.
She gets him to invite her up to his room, puts on this whole act, the furrowed brow, the wounded expression.
And then the fake crying, "Why don't you like me, Mark?" It's quite effective.
What vulnerability is she hitting there?
It's that basic human thing, isn't it? Wanting to help someone who seems upset, especially someone who looks young and helpless. She turns that perceived weakness into a weapon. It's really cunning, and it hints at what she's capable of.
And then, well, things escalate dramatically. We get the first kill.
Right. Mark's in his room. Lucy takes a shower, comes out, and uses her father's straight razor.
Her dead father's razor.
Thump.
A quick, delicate swipe.
And her reaction, that's what's truly disturbing. She squealed with delight, giggled, watching him bleed out.
It's not horror or panic. It's discovery.
Exactly. Crouch frames it as this awful aha moment, like, this is who I am. This is my true nature. Murder isn't just an act for her, it's self-realization.
And she rolls naked in his blood afterwards. Finds it sticky and cool, beautiful, calls it lovely body art. It's visceral.
It's the unleashing of something dark she maybe only dreamed about before, and now it's real, and she finds it beautiful. It's deeply unsettling.
And right after that, she drags his body into the shower, curls up next to it to sleep, and then calls home.
Yeah, that phone call is... Yeah, her mother answers. Sounds awful, probably from the funeral.
And Lucy just screams at her, "He loved me, you stupid bitch. He loved me. I wish you had died. He's the only thing I ever fucking loved." Then slams the phone down, just screams and screams.
That outburst tells you so much, doesn't it? About the perceived abandonment, the grief for her father, this twisted need for something. Love. Validation.
It's like all her rage and pain is focused on her mother, but also tied up in this bizarre connection she felt or imagined with Mark.
Exactly. It's raw, primal. Shows the deep psychological damage driving her.
Okay, so now Lucy's stuck. Mark's body's in the shower, starting to decompose. The smell, potent and getting stronger. She's trying to use ice to slow it down.
Yeah, she's in over her head, practically.
And then Orson just appears, walks into the room, sees the situation, and he just knows.
You've been a naughty little girl, haven't you?
Okay.
That line. Instant recognition, no judgment, just understanding. It's incredibly unnerving.
He becomes her mentor right then and there.
Pretty much. He sees something in her. He tells her, look, you're small and young. You have no physical strength. So if you want to keep doing this,
Over and over and over again.
or out getting caught or killed, you have to be smart. It's like lesson 1 in serial killing 101.
And the first lesson is about manipulation, exploiting vanity.
Right. He says vanity is our main failing. And he demonstrates it, creates this whole fake persona, Vincent Carmichael, a book reviewer.
To lure in this other guy, Richard Bryson, who publishes a magazine called Against the Law.
And this ties into Crouch's bigger themes, how predators use these common human flaws like vanity against people. It's not always brute force, it's psychological. You see that as other villains, too.
And then Orson introduces Luther.
Luther, yeah, described as creepy, pale-faced, with big black eyes. A whole different vibe from Orson.
And Orson tells Lucy straight up, he wants to kill you, Lucy, but then says she's off limits. Why?
Because, Orson says, she might even be one of us. He sees her potential.
In the interview we used, Crouch talks about Luther Kite, who shows up again in Locked Doors. He contrasts him with Orson.
Right. He says he tried to humanize Orson a bit in Desert Places, give him a backstory, gin up sympathy.
But Luther...
With Luther, Crouch made a conscious decision not to delve into any of that. He wanted Luther to be almost mythic, a force of nature. Not really human. Pure menace. It shows how Crouch deliberately crafts different types of evil.
And we see that menace unleashed with the Luther fun.
Oh, yeah. They grab Richard Bryson, hog-tied, ball-gagged.
And Luther does this thing, reveals Mark's body in the shower, making it look like it's waving, causes Bryson to, well, lose control.
It's brutal psychological torture even before the physical stuff starts.
Yeah.
And then Luther brings out his tools.
This collection of antique surgical instruments, a lithotomy, a trephine, it's described as a horror show.
It really is.
Uh-huh.
Crouch doesn't shy away from the gruesome details.
Yeah.
But it's not just for shock value, I think. It emphasizes the cold, methoxical nature of their cruelty.
And Orson's giving Lucy pointers, like superficial cuts are key to make it last longer, avoid shock.
It's like a clinical lesson in torture. And Lucy, she's fascinated, finds it amazing. She has to use the lithotomy, wants to hear the screams.
She learns fast, scary fast. She goes from observer to very enthusiastic participant.
It's that assimilation into pure darkness, which connects back to what Crouch said in the interview, right? His goal is a serious exploration of the human psyche, the nature of evil, and man's depravity.
Lucy's story is like Exhibit A for that.
Definitely.
And Crouch is pretty blunt about his own approach. That quote.
Oh, the SpongeBob quote, yeah.
If you don't think you'll enjoy seeing how Crouch makes the torture and disembowelment of innocent women, children, and even lax store employees into a thing of poetic beauty, maybe you should go watch SpongeBob.
He's basically daring you to look away, isn't he? Challenging the reader.
Now let's talk about Andrew Z. Thomas again. The whole reason Lucy was there. Her hero.
The irony is just staggering. We find out from Desert Places that Andrew, this thriller writer, gets framed for a series of murders himself.
Victims buried on his property, his own paring knife missing, which is chillingly similar to the razor Lucy used.
His life starts to mirror the fiction he writes and the reality Lucy is living. But he has no idea.
No clue. He's busy complaining about a book cover mock-up.
Yeah, the one he thinks looks like a penis. It's this weirdly mundane, almost darkly funny detail amidst all the horror.
Meanwhile, Lucy sees him, but he doesn't see her. She feels invisible again, claustred off from the very person she idolizes.
It hammers home those themes of isolation and perception, doesn't it? She's unseen, unknown, yet her actions are this dark reflection of his world. Their lives are tragically linked, but only she knows it.
So we've mentioned how Orson and Luther reappear. Orson, the somewhat humanized psychopath in Desert Places. Luther, the mythic force of nature in Locked Doors. How does seeing them again outside of Bad Girl change how we see Crouch's world?
It makes it feel really layered,
Yeah.
like this interconnected web of darkness. By showing us different kinds of villains, the made monster like Orson versus the born monster like Luther Crouch gives us this broader, more complex picture of what evil can look like. It's not just one thing.
And what about Crouch's craft? He says his goal is simple, a great story told through great writing. He wants realism, emotion, but also entertainment.
Yeah, and his influences are interesting too. Southern writers like Pat Conroy, fantasy like C.S. Lewis, but especially Cormac McCarthy.
Calling Blood Meridian the greatest horror novel ever written.
You can really see how he blends those things. The sort of brutal beauty and starkness of McCarthy, maybe the character depth from Southern Lit, and the pacing, that pure, relentless adrenaline of a thriller. He makes the horrific compelling.
Okay, let's get back to Lucy's immediate future in Bad Girl. Orson and Luther are leaving. They have a farewell dinner.
And Orson won't take her with them, tells her she needs to figure out her own way.
But he gives her advice. It's almost tender, in a really disturbing way.
It is. He tells her you need to get your hands on some painkillers to overpower people and to learn to read people, but never trust them. Practical, chilling advice.
And then he says that line.
You're a special girl, Lucy. You know what you are, and you're not afraid of it. And I admire that. I admire the hell out of it.
It's like this final, twisted validation. He sees her, understands her darkness, and admires it. It totally cements her path.
It's a chilling kind of blessing, really, setting her loose on the world, fully formed.
And she doesn't waste any time. Orson and Luther leave. She's got cash, her guitar case with her stuff, but her car's booted. So she hitchhikes.
Right. And the first car that stops, a minivan.
Driven by a 30-something woman with a baby in a car seat.
And Lucy gets in. And her final thought in the novella.
No, Luther, not everyone's bigger than me.
Boom. It's the perfect chilling endpoint for this story, but also clearly a beginning for her. You know, source material mentions her story continues in Serial and Serial Uncut.
Right, so Bad Girl is an origin story.
Exactly. It shows the birth of this monster and sets her loose. That last line is her realizing her power, her potential for preying on anyone, even the seemingly safe. It's terrifying self-awareness.
So just to recap, we've gone deep into Bad Girl, into Blake Crouch's mindset a bit. We followed Lucy's journey. Wow, from alienated teen to apprentice killer under Orson and Luther.
And we've seen how Crouch mixes that deep psychological dive with really visceral horror, pulling from his influences, asking big questions about evil.
For you listening, hopefully you've got a clearer picture now of Crouch's style, his unforgettable, often disturbing characters, and why he's so drawn to the dark side of things.
Lucy's story really is a powerful example of how seemingly normal people might harbor something incredibly dark just waiting for a trigger, or maybe, like in her case, a mentor.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. As Lucy hits the road in that minivan, how much of her terrifying path was something already inside her, this innate darkness, just waiting? And how much was it twisted by her search for connection, for validation, in a world where she felt completely invisible?
Yeah, and maybe what makes us capable or incapable of seeing that darkness in others before it's too late. Makes you think, doesn't it?